Mutant Ninja Turtles II, the arcade game, is a port of Konami's 1989 arcade hit, which itself was based off the immensely popular cartoon series. Unlike the first Turtle games on the NES, this one is a side-scrolling beat-em-up and a superior follow-up in every way. After selecting one of the hero turtles, we are treated to a cinematic showing April's apartment on fire and the adventure begins. The first thing you'll notice with Turtles 2 is the moveset is incredibly limited. Basically, you can attack, jump, and not much else. There are no grabs or holds, and no combos with the aid of the D-pad. You can do a nifty jump kick, but you'll actually spend most of your time doing the special attack. If you press A and B at the same time, you'll perform a slight hop, and then an attack twice as powerful as normal. Since this special attack does twice the damage with no drawback whatsoever, you'll spend a majority of the game doing this single attack for the entire hour-long playthrough. I'm not going to lie, it does get a bit repetitive. Worse yet, the special attack is somewhat finicky. I found pressing the jump button slightly before the attack button was the most surefire way to achieve the special attack, but sometimes it simply didn't work. After making your way through April's burning apartment, we arrive at the first boss, Rocksteady. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon was a staple of my childhood, so seeing this iconic baddie is still a treat to this very day. Here, the jump kick is actually most effective. If you can get into a rhythm, he can be a piece of cake to take out. However, if you get slightly out of position, his counterattack will launch you across the screen, forcing you to find the sweet spot all over again. After taking him down, Shredder will arrive and kidnap April O'Neil. The Turtles, of course, follow in pursuit, and we arrive in Scene 2. A few new foot soldiers are introduced, but it is mostly more of the same. Thankfully, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, is a really good-looking game. The Turtles, along with the foot soldiers, are larger than usual for an NES game. While you won't mistake this for a 16-bit game, the oversized sprites and detailed environments hold up really well. There is plenty of flicker when the action gets thick, but it is an acceptable trade-off for the sheer ambition. Bebop then makes an appearance, but he seems awfully familiar. His moveset and attack patterns are virtually identical to Rocksteady. Again, apply a generous helping of well-timed jump kicks to dispatch him and move on to the sewers. Here, the first of many of the game's stage hazards are presented. There is a gate that will slam down and cause damage, forcing you to instead move around it. Thankfully, the boss greeting the end of the section has a different pattern. Unfortunately, he is defeated using the same rhythm of jump kicks we've already used twice before. Again, we are treated to a cutscene showing April O'Neil, Shredder, and Baxter Stockman. While these don't match the story segments found in something like Ninja Gaiden, I still find them to be a nice diversion, and they do a good job moving the plot along. Scene 3 introduces more hazards, like falling ice blocks and rampaging vehicles, but the repetition can no longer be ignored. The same enemies are again present. The mid-boss functions pretty much exactly like Bebop and Rocksteady, and the lack of variety with the moveset starts to take its toll. Don't get me wrong, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, is a fun game, but it is starting to show its age. Developers hadn't quite mastered the beat-em-up formula, and while Turtles 2 is solid, it can be rough around the edges. When I was a kid, I sucked at this game and had a hard time getting past the first level. As an adult, with a fondness for the genre, I can see now my childhood struggles weren't entirely my fault. The controls are inconsistent, and you don't always perform the action you want. Missing a special attack will often have catastrophic consequences, with enemies swarming you, stopping your attack actions completely while you sit at the edge of the screen helpless. It can be a bit frustrating at times, and when combined with the lack of variety, the experience isn't as great as one would hope. The remaining 4 scenes function like the first 3. Watch some cool cutscenes, special attack the Foot Clan, avoid obstacles, and jump kick bosses encompassing the same patterns you've already seen multiple times. Things aren't all mediocre, however, and there are things beyond the nice visuals and cutscenes to enjoy. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, can be a lot of fun. The hit detection is pretty good, and landing hits against the Foot Clan is rather satisfying, thanks to the generous hit boxes. The music is also outstanding, featuring the classic composition from the cartoon's opening credits sprinkled throughout. Again, it's a terrific homage to the 1980s and something I never grow tired of hearing. Even when the game isn't paying tribute to the cartoon, the music is pure high-energy Konami, with lengthy, upbeat tunes never wearing out their welcome. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the game's 7 scenes all feel a little too similar, and the game really suffers from a lack of variety. From the endless waves of the Foot Clan to boss fights all working effectively the same exact way, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, is just a bit too bland and repetitive for my tastes. Some folks find Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, to be in the upper echelon of the NES library. With large sprites, awesome music, and solid controls, I can see where they are coming from, but for me, the lack of attacks and variety drag the experience down. 3 out of 5.